Greetings, Voodoo family. This is your girl, Hathor Akhenaten, aka the Voodoo Diva. And today we're coming to you with something with a particular family of Loa that are usually never talked about. They're very mysterious, and there's not really too much information out there on them. So we're definitely about to get into something exciting and new. So let's get to it. Now, first and foremost, we have a lot of different nation, a lot of different Loa within Voodoo, okay? Now, here we are as humans on the third plane, on the third dimension, correct? However, there is the highest realm or level, okay, of consciousness would be the ninth realm, where we talk about the Gine, the world of the Gine, meaning, of course, the world of the Loa, the ancestry. Now, within the world of the Gine, many within the Bible, in a sense, would call that paradise, okay? Because this is the highest level in form when we're talking about reaching God level, as they say, or God body. This would be Bonji. Okay, Bonji is when all of those families come together as one. That is the representation of the highest of the all. So within the Voodoo pantheon, of course, we have different nations. The different nations means different families. Now, here we are as humans on the third plane density, okay, third dimension. And when we're talking about the highest realm and level of consciousness, that would be the ninth realm, okay, ninth dimension in the world of the Gine. Now, within the Bible, that would be what humans would call paradise, if you will, okay? Basically, when all of those energies and all those families come together to form one, that is where you get your Bonji complex, which is your God complex from, okay? Now, when we're talking about the respecting the God body within ourselves, when these spirits dwell within us, they make us become the God body, okay? All right, when the Bible basically mentions, oh, the kingdom of God, that basically speaks on the kingdom inside of us. When those energies come and have interface with us like that, they are activating, or we are activating, that God body principle, okay? Now, every Loa has an animal or an insect or an element that it is associated with, okay? Now, the animal can use that to identify with the particular Loa. Why, you ask? In this case, for example, as we speak of the Simbi, they deal with the snakes, okay? And of course, the element is water. However, we could even go into them being the conch, or the conch shell, rather. Now, with that said, though, there is a reason behind why they come in that format, okay? Pretty much the energies that be, the Simbi's understood that our pineal glands are calcified, all right? And we would be completely afraid if they were to come and show themselves in their full form, okay? You know, when we're talking about society, they're always demonizing Voodoo in the first place. So to come in full form is something that could freak a couple people out, freak some folks out if you're not used to seeing that in your environment, okay? And so that has a big role to do with it. Now, as we talk with the Simbi, I just want this to be clear, okay? Simbi in Creole is mermaid in English, is la sirène in French. They all have the same meaning. It's just different terms, but same meaning. We're talking about the creature, the energies of the water coming forth from the waters, okay? Okay, so let's look at the origins, okay, of the Simbi. Now, the origins of the Simbi as a family, okay, the foundation of them, some of it came from the Congo, most of it from the Arawak Taino, okay, via Naiti. Their energy is actually responsible as part of the secret society, okay, in Voodoo. All right, very reminiscent of that Bizango type of energy, okay, where it can be very strong, a bit aggressive, but still yet water element. Now, the Simbis come from the fourth dimension, okay, and they were basically the first group that was assigned to help build this human project, okay, of the third density, of the third dimension. Now, when we take a look at the dynamic of the Simbi principle, it's always been around. When you look at your birthright passage, okay, that is a straight, direct Simbi principle, Simbi blue, okay, one of the Simbi blue. Now, let's take a look at this. When you're in your mother's womb, okay, what are you first? You're a tadpole. The tadpole does a little swiggly thing going this way, right? Going into the mother's womb. That's the snake. You can look at that as the snake energy, all right? The small snake, and then you grow and become what you're going to be, you know, as your passage to come through. It's always through the waters, okay? So always the principle has been here. When we talk about certain legends, okay, some say that the humans evolved out of the water to the surface, okay? And when we look at it through many different civilizations throughout time, okay, has documenting of these beings. You had the Dogons who would speak to the Nomos of what they used to call them. The Sumerians spoke of them and used to call them Apkallu, okay, the Apkallu. All right, the early Africans used to refer to them as Anutululu, okay, and basically all is that is frequency of being half human and half mermaid, okay. So the faction and energy of the SIMBI'S has been around for a very long time. So now, the family of the SIMBI'S has always been known to be like the border patrol of the Americas, okay? Many, of course, were trying to come into the New World, were trying to set sail to come. And what would happen is that everybody knew this was a suicide mission, to the point where the Europeans and just others, Mongoloids, etc., would send nothing but their prison cell inmates, if you will, to come in, do the expedition, because they knew it was a suicide mission. There was great mystery surrounded around these trips because people were going and not coming back. So one thing was for sure, there was a lot of supernatural activity that at the time couldn't be explained, but was going on nonetheless. Now, with all these rumors and stuff stirring up, out there, everybody's kind of confused. What's coming next? You got your boy Christopher Columbus at the time, who basically wanted to challenge and take that expedition to the New World. However, he needed funding for the expedition. Now, he started off in Italy, did not receive any funds. Went to Portugal, same thing. Went into Morocco, same thing. However, when he got to the doorstep, okay, of Queen Isabella, who happened to be a descendant of the Moors, this was in Spain, she agreed to fund the trip only because he would have received the assistance of the best, which at that time were none other than the Moors. However, within the Moors, there was a special, group, a magical, spiritual group called the Magi. All right, in Creole, we say magie. All right, this is the root word of that, coming from that particular group. Now, when we talk about the ships, and how things were able to be done, everybody always mentions just the La Nina, La Pinta, La Santa Maria for Christopher Columbus's expedition. However, many don't know that the first official ship was the Imamu, navigated by the Moors, Imamu, when we look at the root word of Imamu, we have Imamor, Imamu, Imamor, we already have that. The M-U, is what they used to use as a term to identify black people, darker skinned people of color, again, i.e. the Moors. The Moors were knights, so their complexion was very, very, very dark, Now, within that being said, the name of the ship was the Imamu, if you will, but they had to seek passage from Metagwe. Now, contrary to what many people feel, Metagwe is not so much to Poseidon. He is what we call the captain of the seas. All right, he is the one who gives the passage. What Papa Legba is here on land, if you will, is what Metagwe deals with in the waters. He is the captain of the seas, i.e. Captain Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the... We'll get into that. But all in all, the energy that was evoked was Metagwe, but Metagwe being the sea captain giving passage. So from that point on, many laws, and we'll discuss this in another video, but just so you know, many laws accredit that they were on the boat coming here to America, dealing with that Imamu boat. When they talk about Met Akwe having escorts in a sense, okay, other members, if you will, of that ship, you have, for example, Ogu Balenjo. Balenjo comes from that, you know, Spanish term, Spanish language, all right? And when we're talking about, like, for example, the 21 Divisiones or whatever, within what they practice in, you know, a lot of the Spanish-centered or versions of voodoo, Balenjo, they usually call on a lot as their Ogu principle. You also have Ogu Balize, okay, Balenjo, all of that streaming from the Moors from Spain, okay? This is where the rooting came from. So it's just to show you that there's nothing new under the sun, okay? The energy has always been here, and its origins come from this particular time, especially with this history of Christopher Columbus. Now, let me just put it this way to you. SIMBI'S have always been like what we want to call a protection front for humanity. Okay, they have always protected us from evil forces, okay, who try to come in and tarnish or mess with their creation, to destroy their creation. All right, now when we look at these customs and traditions, okay, in ancient times, all right, the Africans used to deal with the SIMBI'S, but when the way that they were able to deal with them had to do directly with their shape-shifting abilities, okay? They were able to come on land, and they used to deal with them through ritual when they were shape-shifted as humans. The kind, or what they used to look like, was the albinos, what we know today as being albino, okay? And this particular tradition is the same accountability and the same thing centuries later that in Africa, in many places in Africa till today, okay, when we're talking about albinos, they're usually hunted. The whole origin behind this deals with the fact that the practices, there's always been war within the waters. So when these bodies of these SIMBI'S used to wash up on shore, these particular body parts of the SIMBI'S were used for magic and ritualistic purpose. This is why that tradition still exists in many parts till today. They look at albinos as something to be hunted because they can use the parts and things for magical and ceremonial purposes, okay? Rituals. Okay, so once Columbus and his crew hit the land back in the 1400s, this was in the era of Anacaona, okay, there was a supreme chief priest at that time, which was named Boikyo. Remember, this was in the indigenous Native Americans at the time. Now, here's the thing. We have always been taught that Haiti was just a rich colony and, you know, just had, you know, the sugar cane, the coffee, whatever. However, truly what foreigners were coming in there for was occult science, the mystery system out there, okay? That's what they came for. Now, Boikyo knew that once the Magi bypassed the SIMBI'S, they had to be real serious and true about their craft, all right? They knew the occult. Now, it was up to Boikyo, okay, to preserve and seal the secrets of the land so foreigners could not get in. He had to lock down the 4th and the 5th gate, okay? Now, that was in an area called L'étang. L'étang is an area where a lot of ceremonies and things would be held for the respecting or honoring of the SIMBI'S. So this is a sacred place and area, which is like what we'd call like an underground cave area. And in Creole, they'd call that a gwart, okay? Which basically is an underground facility that can store up to 13 million people. You heard me right. 13 million people, okay? This is something that's not talked about too often because, again, one of the very serious mysteries of Haiti. Let's not forget, Haiti is geographically in the center of the earth. Okay, and also, if you really check the script, when that earthquake hit back in Haiti, let's not be silly, people. This was something man-made, and it was man-made because it was a stir-up from the underwater levels, sea levels, that rose up to the surface and caused the damage that it caused. But the reason why They were trying to reopen that gate. That portal, that gate was trying to be reopened, but they failed. Okay, so this is the reason why there's that havoc, and still to these days, Haiti's a place where they never want for it to get too much attention, for too many people to start coming in, because then those secrets and the awareness of that will start to circulate. Okay, listen, Haiti is not a country. Haiti is a dimension all in itself. It's a dimension. Okay, people? So what I'm telling you is this. That sacred land, a sacred place, there's a very vast amounts of knowledge, occult knowledge. That's what these foreigners, Columbus and all that, and the magi that he took with him was not by coincidence. There was a divine reason behind it. It's always about the secrets in the mystery system. Okay, so let's talk about the beautiful La SIREN. La SIREN is what we would call the sacrificial SIMBI. La SIREN was like the sacrifice of the SIMBI'S because she wanted to stay in human affairs. She loves and is so compassionate and, you know, therapeutic. She loves to be that energy that can help humanity when in distress, okay? She gets the messages across. La SIREN is actually responsible, all right, for teaching humanity how to sing. Singing is a form of hypnosis in a sense, if you will. And La SIREN, whenever they come, usually that energy is all about singing, okay? And that's why a lot of times when one wants to reach out to La SIREN, you go by the waters and you sing to her. She enjoys that. So she's basically that, like that sacrificial limb, whereas in the SIMBI'S, okay, that family, they choose to go back home. They stay away at all costs from humans due to the history, of course, the atrocities that happened before. And they know to just stay in their zone and, you know, humans stay in theirs. They only will deal with a select few. Most of the time that has to be a mastery level type of situation, and they're very secret, you know, again, it's that secret society finish going on with them. So that's how that works. Now when La SIREN comes, usually most of the time it rains when that person is in possession with La SIREN, okay? So that is her energy. Again, being that loving, wanting to always be with humans kind of function. That's La SIREN for you, okay? That law of compassion. She's also known for giving out the treasures, bringing the treasures from deep in the waters and sharing it with humans, okay? So that's how that goes. Now, let's look at some of the many different SIMBI'S, okay? As we know, that's a huge family because the water, what, has a lot of fish, has a lot of, you know, in the sea, a lot of creatures. So, first off, we have SIMBI'S, which I spoke about briefly before. It dealt with that healing, that birth passage. Oh, as a woman, my water broke. That's that waterway, okay, with SIMBI'S. That's that energy that deals with, once again, bringing in forth new waters. Attributes. Let's talk about the attributes. When she usually comes, it needs to be in a bucket of water, and usually will be topless, okay, with nothing but maybe just undergarments on, underwear, okay? And there has to be a comb there, and there has to be that bucket of water, which the feet has to be inside of the water. Many times she will come in, she will talk about, like, you know, if your hair is not in order, you know, a part of an attribute of beauty, you know, if your hair is not in check and in order, she will talk to you about yourself, like on her, you know, possessed on her shwal. So yeah, that's SIMBI'S energy. Now, Gun Simbi is basically what Gun Urzuli would be to the Lawaz via on land. That's just the mother, you know, that mother principle, the Gun, the elder, okay, of the SIMBI'S, all right? Now, you have Simbi Gun Gun. Simbi Gun Gun sounds very similar to what? Ugun, okay? This one is a powerful energy because it sometimes can be called Simbi Ganga as well. And this is the one that keeps the secrets going. This is the energy that gives you the ranks, the Loa that gives you the ranks on things. He is basically what Papa Loco would be to, you know, on land in a sense, is what that Gunga energy or that Simbi Ganga energy is. It can give the point, very heavy for giving the mystery system deeper occult knowledge when it comes to the secrets of the waters, which we know is vast. So we also have SIMBI'S. SIMBI'S will go through the waters kind of like a spy, keeping an eye out, okay? So that you're thinking that water snake energy that's going in there and is just checking and looking around to see what's what, okay? The spy, in a sense, the huge, massive observer, okay? Now, you have SIMBI'Makaya. SIMBI'Makaya would be kind of like that Poseidon energy, okay? That fiery Poseidon energy, that protector, powerful magic involved, but is a very strong, firm kind of energy, okay? Very fiery, okay? Spicy, if you will. Now, the Sampuel, Bizango, and Zobope, okay, they couldn't deal with anyone of those societies without dealing with the SIMBI'S, okay? So just to show you the ranks and what the SIMBI'S symbolize in voodoo, okay? Now, let's talk about the side of entertainment with this. You know, the sides of entertainment is vast, and we've always seen that in all our movies and shows. Let's break it down for a second. We've got in Aquaman, a movie on the way out, Momo, okay? He plays in his own way a La SIREN figure in energy because he's half human and half mermaid. But he was living amongst the humans. However, he had his family, which would come to see him in the movie. So it just shows you the side of that. Now we have a show called SIREN. The show SIREN, there are mermaids, okay, that can shapeshift into humans. Okay, so that's the energy there. You even have in The Little Mermaid, when we take a look at Ursula, who played in her own format a SIMBI'Makaya, okay? A powerful magician, a sorcerer, who actually did what? Made sure Ariel could come on land and be a human for some time before going back in. So again, still showing you the SIMBI, the La SIREN, that whole aspect. Now, I want to go into a really serious movie that really did some strong depictions of the Loa, okay, and that's frequency. So first off, in the movie Pirates of the Caribbean, okay, we have Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow is playing none other than what? What is Jack Sparrow? He's Italian, if you will, that kind of thing. He played the Columbus story. In its physical sense, the whole story on the Pirates of the Caribbean was Columbus coming into the native land. Now, you have this. They were looking for what, or trying to get what? The Black Pearl. The Black Pearl would kind of be what? Symbolizing the gates, that fourth and fifth gate, this pearl, the treasures, okay? Those things that you just can't get like that until you have the access. Now, in IET, let's pay close attention. In IET, when it was at its peak, it was called La Perle des Antilles, okay? La Perle des Antilles, which, again, the pearl aspect. Hello, the riches, the treasures. Now, in this particular movie, okay, there was a lot of law and representation, more than just the SIMBI'S. We're going to break it down. So, when his arch nemesis, okay, Jack Sparrow's enemies would come, a lot of times they'd have what? Octopus faces and shark faces and all this going on. That represent none other than the SIMBI aspect. The SIMBI energies coming to counteract what humans were trying to come and get, which was the riches and come and messing with their territory. Now, interesting, because in the movie, Jack Sparrow is dead, technically, right? He's dead. So he actually represents a very interesting side, which is the possession. In possession, he actually plays, okay, two things. First of all, with his red turban, he is a Moor. But even deeper, he plays Moorish, again, the Magi energy. So they show you with his red the whole time. And he has even a black man, which is called Bosun, in the movie, who represents what? A guide. He's on the boat as a guide for him. However, in spirit, the Jack Sparrow plays Ogu Saint-Jacques. All right, he's that senior energy. He's the one who's going to teach the other ones how to fight. You know, he's the one who's going to be calling the shots among the ship. Where he goes, they follow, that kind of energy. Now, it was interesting because Jeffrey Rush played the Met-Agwe frequency. Okay, they came in Calypso. They had to go through once again as a mambo aspect. This was played by Naomi Harris. She is the one who knows the secrets on how to get the navigation popping. So they come to her to get the passage, okay, from the mambo. And who pops up? She has Jeffrey Rush, who plays the Met-Agwe, the captain of his ship. He's like, well, I've been gone a long time. What's going on? What do you guys need from me? Okay, and that's how that takes place. So, all in all, when we now talk about the beautiful exotic, who plays the La Sirène aspect? La Sirène is played by a Astrid Berges Frisbee, okay? And she happens to be half French, half Spanish. And she plays that La Sirène figure, that energy again, that they captured. They're going to try to get answers out of her, that kind of thing. The other SIMBI'S, they flee. It's a wrap. They don't want nothing to do with them. They ain't got no time for it. Now, Orlando Bloom was playing Ogubalenjo. Remember, I talked about Ogubalenjo earlier in the video. Now, we also have even Keith Richards, okay, who ends up playing Ogubalize. Now, Ogubalize, okay, once again, another one of the escorts on the ship. So it's interesting because in Voodoo, Met-Agwe will have escorts, and a lot of them, Ogubalenjo, Ogubalize specifically, happen to be escorts of him. So part of the crew, if you will. All right. So it was really interesting because the Pirates of the Caribbean did a fascinating job on showing a lot of this energy and this frequency. All of it played in perfectly. That story was about coming to the Americas, was about Columbus, was about Haiti. Okay. So that's how that goes. Now, all in all, okay, this frequency of La Sirène, of the SIMBI'S, shows us one thing. Everything was always from the beginning birthed from the waters, the mighty. That is your frequency of communication. Okay, you cannot get away from it. You cannot escape it. We all have come through that passage, once again, that Simbi to get to who and where we are today. So it's very powerful. And if you notice, so many movies are coming in the coming of times, okay, Aquaman, and just so many shows are coming with this large energy of this La Sirène, the SIMBI'S. You can't get enough of it, all over the television. Okay, so moral of the story, moral of the video rather, the La Sirène and the SIMBI'S, Met-Agwe, all of this beautiful, powerful energy is very, very potent in the world of Voodoo, in the world of Haitian Voodoo, in the world of power, really. They're an energy that if one is ever that blessed to have seen them or to interact with them, consider yourself very lucky because it's rare. And for all that being said, as far as current events and things coming up, well, basically at this point, you guys are all in for a treat because I'm actually going to be doing ceremonial travels, if you will, next month in October. It'd actually be October the 11th. So from now up until then, for those that have special petitions and special requests for certain things that would like to give something on behalf of their families, for blessings of all different sorts, I will be doing a Manger Migum. Okay, a Manger Migum is basically transcended as a ceremony of the angel, ceremony of the angelic energy. The Loa many times are called Zanjo, okay, being the angels, if you will. So this is kind of like that precursor before the end of the year to check in, make sure all is well, give the honor and the respect, of course, thus far, that is always, and to take care of the people. You know, many people, it's an ongoing situation. Healing, protection, prosperity, continued abundance, you know, clarity on more things. And so this is what's going on. So to the Voodoo family, you know who you are. And to my new visitors and my new family that I'm going to be meeting, I welcome you all in the spirit of La Sirène, if you will, right? Of that communication. And to contact me, of course, or to get more information about that, you can click on the links below. Make sure that you like, comment, and share. And, you know, let's keep the education. Let's keep the love of the Loa and our ancestors going, okay? Because at the end of the day, voodoo is the final frontier. Aye, bobo. Peace and love. Until the next video.
Ooh, you want me? Do you want a sex ray? I do. Ooh, my baby. I'll be a sex ray. Do.